All right, guys, we have a little extra quick blitz for you guys. This was such an important game for the Panthers, so Sheena and I decided to bring you some additional analysis from today's matchup. Sheena, what are your thoughts?
Man, I thought all week it was going to be a defensive game. I didn't think it would be as high scoring as it was, but I definitely felt that it would come down to special teams and the kickers, and that is exactly what happened.
Yeah, I didn't expect special teams, but I thought it was defense, and I thought that the defense would need to get pressure on Drew Brees, and they did not do that in the first half. I told Sheena, guys, here at the Superdome, it was in the third quarter, right after New Orleans scored, and they were playing Mystical, Here I Go. And the guys on the field were dancing, and the guys on the sideline were dancing as if they had this game in the bag. There was an immediate shift in tone defensively after that. I think they felt disrespected. I would have felt disrespected, and then they turned it on, and they made it a game. And honestly, the Panthers, I think that's why they were so upset. They don't have anybody to blame for this loss but themselves.
They battled back from 2 scores down, not once, but twice in this game. A first quarter that saw the Panthers in possession of the ball for only 3 minutes. It was all Drew Brees. It was all Michael Thomas. 10 catches for him today for 101 yards. But let's talk about DJ Moore.
DJ Moore had a huge game. He came up clutch. He and Allen had a connection. Offensively, I think that this was maybe one of their best performances given the pressure and the situation, and it was a great way for Allen to bounce back after last week.
I did like to see the confidence that the rest of his teammates and Ron Rivera put in his hands. He made some gutsy throws that somebody coming into this game with 9 interceptions, you wouldn't expect them to make. So I think it's a good sign that Kyle Allen is getting more comfortable in this offense. Joey Sly, 2 missed extra points, the missed 28-yard field goal after connecting on a 50-plus yard field goal earlier in the game. Someone on Twitter said that if you put the game in the hands of the kicker, this is what you get. But I'm sorry, I think that there was room for improvement in all 3 phases of the game, but you cannot say that those missed points were not significant in a game like this where it came down to 3 points.
You're right. Bottom line, if they had those points, the Panthers walk out of here with a win, and we're on Bourbon Street rocking our Carolina Blitz gear lit. However, listen, I understand that Sly missed the field goal.
Correct.
But the Panthers had 6 opportunities inside the 5-yard line to score a touchdown and go up 7. They even were the beneficiary of a PI reverse call. That never happens. 6 tries inside the 5. There's no excuse for them not to get points. I question some of the play calling by Norv, and then just the execution. Trey Turner afterwards said, he said that he took personal responsibility for it, and he says he has to do better, and they do.
Let's double back around to that PI. At first it was a no call, it was challenged. The irony of that is the New Orleans Saints staff was very instrumental, very vocal in getting that rule implemented where a pass interference call or a pass interference non-call is reviewable.
Yeah, I tweeted, I was like, watch. It would be so crazy if this happened and it's reversed after, basically the Panthers are benefiting from a rule change that the Saints and their bitter fans kind of birthed. And yeah, the Panthers were the beneficiary, but that means nothing if you don't capitalize on it.
Absolutely. And I didn't feel comfortable after that missed field goal. I know they turned the ball over on downs, deep in Saints territory. The Panthers have been gashed all day for huge plays of 20, 30, 40 yards. They could not contain. I know we talk about Michael Thomas a lot. AK, we talk about him a lot. But the Panthers have struggled with defending tight ends, and Jared Cook was unstoppable today.
Jared Cook cooked today, and there were a couple of times where, he was just wide open. And honestly, when Sly missed that field goal and it was in the defensive hands against Drew Brees, I knew that game was lost. Now, the question is, where do the Panthers go from here?
Panthers now sit at 5-6. They are 1-3 in the division with a 5-6 record. I mean, they go back home to face the Redskins, not doing too well this season, but in the NFL, you never know what's going to happen week after week. You don't know if Washington gets up for this particular game and sends the Panthers on their next road trip at 5-7. Bottom line is it doesn't get any easier from here. The Panthers would essentially have to win the division, and I don't really know if that is mathematically possible yet.
Listen,
If they've been out, or if they've been ruled out yet, but it's not looking good. 1-3, 5-6.
It was do or die. This here was a playoff game for the Panthers, and they dropped it. It will take a miracle for them to get into the playoffs right now. Basically, you're playing for respect at this point, and you're playing spoiler at this point, and so many questions with this team going forward. But you know, you still play the game to win, right?
Absolutely. And it's been the mantra all season without Cam Newton, and with the shuffling of offensive line players, which we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because at least 3 players went down at some point in the game, and we don't know what their status or their prognosis is going to be for the rest of the season in a unit that it's kind of been Carolina's Achilles heel for the last couple of seasons. They cannot seem to get everybody healthy at the same time on the offensive line.
It's been a tough season, a tough year, and I know I said this before. You guys do not like to hear. Y'all are tired of the phrase missed opportunities, but that's what this season, like last year, has really come down to: one big missed opportunity.
So, guys, thank you for rocking with us. We're coming to you from the Mercedes Superdome again. Saints with the walk-off field goal to win it 34-31 over the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers return to the bank next week to face the Washington Redskins. Until then, keep blitzing and stay quick out the blocks. Thanks, guys.